Hello. Okay, my friends, I'm first of all so grateful that you're here with me today and that I'm able to be here with you. There's a lot of different energies going on for everyone, and I'm here to do my very best to provide you the messages that you need to hear. If they resonate, listen. If it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. So, I would like to begin by, first of all, I have changed the name of my channel from Tarot Therapy Lab to Soul Goals Gal. Tarot Therapy Lab, licensed or not licensed as a therapist, providing general readings on YouTube is not therapy. It is, excuse me, sorry, testing, the mic working? Okay, but in times of need, I I do have a background. I've been trained and educated, academic background in psychology, clinical psychology, experimental psychology, etc. Um, However, I do not have my license. I began graduate school in order to procure my license, but I something was missing. I did not feel the system was going to allow me to be of the best service to fulfill my calling. Um, for whatever it's worth, I was raised Episcopalian, and there was a bit of a thing about female priests in the Episcopal Church or different dioceses. That's a story. If you understand, you understand. If not, it's fine. Um, However, my calling is more of a spiritual nature. Um, I am here to follow faith, to follow the divine, and it became very clear to me uh, during a very profound near-death experience in about 2016. Um, it's not been easy, but it has been simultaneously divine. I just there are no words, and it's not about me. So, with that little bit of background, the word therapy is Tarot Therapy Lab, even though that is the way I have a lot of background in Jungian psychology, which made um, really helped me understand. I already had an understanding of the collective unconscious and how the different, um, the imagery, especially in the tarot weight, the Rider Waite, um, it made sense to me, and I was able to, um, after a life very involved in the matrix, so to speak, really helped me connect to and maintain that anchor, that spiritual anchor, that sustained my life at one time, and thus is now my life purpose is to do the work to maintain that, but also to share what it is that these experiences have allowed me to have access to. I'm not special. Anyone, you don't have to have a near death experience. Anyone can have their divine spark and connection to their divine spark and have developed their intuition, develop skills of empathy, develop skills of compassion, develop the wisdom that is intended for them based upon for you based upon your soul's purpose. And my job, my purpose, my mission is to live within my purpose, but and nurture and hold on, anchor in my divine spark as much as possible. We're all human, so it's discipline is required, but by exercising the discipline in my life and nurturing the spark, my intention is to be a demonstration to show the spark to others who are looking for it, or who, like myself, were looking for others who shared that vibration, whatever frequency you may be, whatever soul tribe, um, monad, which I put in quotes just because that is something that's sort of specifically, the Hermetic principles. Anywho, I just, if I can awaken within others what I connected to most strongly through a near death experience, which I don't, shouldn't have to take that to get there, or those who may have experienced massive downloads of enlightenment, just massive consciousness expansion, but in a sort of temporal window, say during an ayahuasca ceremony. I've not participated in one of those, so I'm very curious. Or through psilocybins, through any sort of synthetic means, it doesn't make the experience less real. However, what I feel those experiences, I did have some of those experiences early on in life, and connected very strongly, and developed, went into studying psychology and neuroscience. I wanted to understand what it was that was going on, and sort of validate whether or not this experience was widespread, or if it was just me, or if it was just the people around. But I did that. We have made so much progress, and it's amazing. It's amazing. Anywho, my goal is to keep the spark alive in myself so that I may reflect that to any who are looking to connect with that spark, um, that exists within themselves, by seeing it reflected back, or those who are looking for something and they don't quite know what it is yet. There are a lot of inherent barriers to samadhi. If you don't know what that means, it's okay. I'm here to do my best, and I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you listening. Wow, 9 minutes. I appreciate you listening to that whole spiel. My name is Lauren. I often go by Jules, Joules, because I do believe that energy can be transmuted at a distance. The delta, if you're into math or physics or anything, a triangle symbol, as well as if anyway, Alt J, for example, great band. Alt J is the hotkey combination in order. This triangle equals delta. Delta means change, and so Alt Joules is one of my nomenological, one of my, I don't know what to say, but it's one of the things I go by. It's one of the things I connect with. I'll likely create other channels. One of those might be called Alt J. I have other screen names. I'm going to go ahead and cut the card so we can get into it. But Joules, Joules, named after someone with the same name. It discusses how energy changes from a distance, which is very quantum, almost pre-quantum. So, before I, like one of my favorite bands, before I ramble on any further, let's get into the cards. Just whatever comes out, whatever comes out. I did design a bit of a spread here that I intend on using. So this is like an us versus them sort of thing, understanding relational dynamics. And if you can see here, so there's a 9-card primary layout here, and then there's 2 cards down here that are for the specific audience, not relating to the partner or person on your mind, that represent, the divine advice and or outcome suggested, as well as a card that is what you need to know. This is important to me. I don't want to just tell you what to do. I want to teach too. I want to share with you what I know or what I've been learning. So the first card here, this column, 1, 2, 3 of the column. The first is their perspective overall. The second is, I had to write real tiny, them since the last time you communicated. So this is a little bit sorry. I'm in a similar situation. I don't know why. Maybe that's why my left eye is itching a bit. Them since your last communication. And then the third card here for the person on your mind represents their current timeline. Now I'm going to jump over here to the opposite column, which is for you, for whoever the watcher is. And of course, cross-watching is, I encourage it because it's perspective taking. And perspective taking is very healthy. It encourages empathy, and that's what the world needs in healthy amounts. Everything in balance. Okay, so the first card is your overall perspective of the situation, of the dynamic of the relationship at this time. Down here, second card, you ever since the last communication. So like your growth or delineation, because hard things pull us into places that we have to work our way out of, and that's just the nature of life. But we are strong, we are resilient, and we are supported by the universe and the divine, should we choose to reach out and receive. And then the third card here, just your timeline currently, so you can see how those connect. Now the center is their perspective, your perspective, what the universe has to say, the bridge. A lot of these in the middle, it's about the universe and it's about the purpose and the lesson. So then, second, between the last time you both communicated and it's the divine lesson. The timeline, either way, is the purpose. So free will considered, the purpose of this will be, it's based upon free will and what you've done with the divine lesson, whether the purpose has been served, it will be open to interpretation. So I just designed this spread, so we'll rock and roll with it and see how it goes. We're already at 15. God bless you. Oh my gosh. If you're still here. I mean, I love you so much anyway, but I'm just saying, I, all these rules about, oh, you should keep your content to this link, that link. I'm here to be honest and truth a lot. Yes, I'm here to be honest. I'm here to be true to self. So you can fast forward anytime you want. What I tend to watch videos at like a 1.25, sometimes 1.5, depending. Um, so feel free. Hopefully this will be time stamped, so you can get to the parts you're interested in as quickly and directly as possible. All right, so you get it, and we already covered the divine advice and then what you need to know overall, because you can't control other people. And but you can have a lot of influence if you own your purpose, and that can lead to great discernment. And that's kind of all she wrote for now. Alrighty. I really want to pause because that took some energy. Can I pause? I don't think I can pause. I have to stop and restart. All right, here we go. So as we were talking, I cut this 3 times and put it back together. Currently, we have the Page of Cups at the bottom of the deck and the Death card at the top of the deck. So an offer of love, as you know, something that I'm wanting to cut it again, something that led to transformation, an ego death that came from an offer of love. Give me just one moment, if you would. Now that I've explained it to you, I want to make sure that my heart is in full connection. Heart space is where the best info comes from, and it opens up the crown. Okay, so I'll be pulling. How do I do this? Okay. Perspective. Perspective. Should I pull from the top or the bottom? Should, like, if I just do like the flipper style, which is what I'm used to, very intuitive, just whatever whatever presents itself, presents itself. I have written down that I want to use the first deck is Morgan Greer, but this is pretty, they're very similar. Their perspective, instances, their timeline. Thank goodness I've got like a plethora of oracles to clarify with. Their perspective, spirit. Perspective. For the collective. It is the perspective of the person. Oh, I gotta look. Okay, so curiosity killed the cat, but what I had to look at came out as 10 of, so masculine energy, King of Wands, supporting the Ten of Cups. What this reminds me of a lot is a sort of a classical masculine energy, which can be embodied in a female, don't we all get this yet? Okay, you can be the whole idea of spirituality, like the very root words, religion means union or binding. So when you like look at Christianity, almost all that I have studied, when you get to the level of the mysticism, of the deep roots of the higher practices within any given religion, it's about within. So, and again, I'm going to say this about twin flames. Here's what twin flames really are. The idea of a twin flame that exists outside of yourself, the whole point is to have unity and balance and awareness, appreciation, and consciousness of the divinity of either and both masculine and feminine within yourself. This has nothing to do with sexual orientation. That wasn't a wink. This has nothing to do with sexual orientation. This has nothing to do with, it might with gender fluidity on a spiritual basis as a cultural phenomenon, as a zeitgeist that's going on, which is a whole nother topic. Anywho, this seems like a traditional energy, male energy who feels that he is supposed to be in control of the castle. Neither of these are major arcana. They're very high level court card and the highest level of pentacles. This just came out. So I feel like this is the true desire, probably of both parties. Makes a lot of sense, honestly. Both wanting to be the ruler of the highest manifestation of family, stability, and all these things. But again, you look at this card, there they are standing behind the archway, looking at this, at the big city, which in these times, that is very idyllic. Having, there's so many different things here. See the old man there who's kind of sitting, watching, grimacing, the child there behind, right there, who's wanting attention. The woman there, her back turned to the city. The man faced directly at the taller buildings. This speaks to a level of ambition where even achieving everything that creates stability in life is not enough. And that's, in this card, masculine energy as it's represented. He wouldn't be there if this man had not supported him. See what I'm saying? Let me look at it for just a second. Okay, so the designs on the cloak of the old man, to whom the dogs. Okay, so look at how the child there is really looking at what the dogs are interested in. Ooh, I'm having so many downloads. Okay. So there's one pentacle here in front of the female. Reminds me of the Ace of Pentacles. This is the offer of opportunity and fruition. Without the female, you're back to the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is being single, but not quite fully fulfilled, not having being happy in your own garden, but eventually, have you ever seen the movie The Secret Garden? You know, life is not meant to be lived solitarily. I don't know if anyone else could, but that one tall building, is that phallic? Could be a fallacy. So, but there are two stars in the sky here on the right side. I'm just looking at it directly right. So, juggling, going back to the Two of Pentacles, it's like juggling between stability and possible greed. These ideas of things that make you feel as though this is not enough. The old man with one pentacle on his back. Oh, there it is. It's like the biblical story where I think it's in Mark, but different people are given this, a certain amount of denarii, and he who takes the denarii received and multiplies it is blessed, as I recall the story. But here's this old man who took the one denarii he had, has his progeny, and the progeny is looking out at, he's looking at external things. And so the Three of Pentacles is about teamwork and collaboration. He has everything he needs, but he wants to collaborate expansively, and expansiveness is good. But expansiveness, once you've already reached the Ten of Pentacles, would be into expanding to the cups, expanding to swords, really pentacles. So that's earth and air. So I might have to do a whole episode about just this card. You notice how the little kid is like pulling on the tail of that one dog, and Max's dogs are just like, they seem very loyal to the fatherly like gentleman, right? This does very much seem to represent the nature of things, as we know them. So, was that another 10 minutes? God bless you all. And here we have the King of Wands looking at that, assessing it, possibly to make a ruling. All right, so that just popped out. So here we go. Their perspective. Oh, I happen to be dealing with an Aquarius. But look, I mean, even in this deck, this is my original Rider-Waite deck. So their perspective is a defensiveness, which it could be standing up for what they believe in. However, what they believe in is not fully formed yet. What they're really defending as is what they perceive to be their success, to be the fruit of their energy thus far, being the Six of Wands, right? So here they are, the Seven of Wands, and they're saying, no, 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 I'm a success. Those are my 6 wands. How dare you take them away from me? I'll fight and defend this at the top of the hill as much as I can. Behind that, here we have the Star. So a replenishing of energy, Age of Aquarius. There's 7 white stars, and then there's the large, almost like the North Star, right? So maybe these 7 white stars are representing the spiritual pathway, which he's trying to fight off because it would require a give and take that as we're entering in more and more into the age of Aquarius. Pluto's in Aquarius, right? So, and this is going to, right now it's at 1 degree Aquarius. It's in retrograde. Yes, I have a chart. It's in retrograde, or it's going to be in retrograde soon, and it's coming out of retrograde, I think, November 15th. That's Saturn. Hold with me, folks, just a second. I love astrology, and astrology loves me, but not Aretha Franklin. Oh, okay. So, yes, it is currently in retrograde, of course, the joy, and it will exit retrograde around October 11th of this year, and it will still be in Aquarius. And it's going from like 29 degrees Capricorn retrograde from 1 degree to like 29, 28 Capricorn, and then back again. I made notes with the Sabian and Chaldean numerical interpretations of that, which I'll share at a different time. But right now, in this state of transition, because we're at the cusp, I wanted to say the Antarctic, but the anoretic. That sounds like anorexic to me. Anyway, but we're at the anoretic degrees, which are very critical. I mean, it's from anoretic to just fully in the most critical degrees between Aquarius and Capricorn. And this is the age of Aquarius. Okay, I can't sing. I need mamas and babas. Anywho. Let's count. Make it a drinking game. Every time I go on a tangent, take a shot of wheatgrass. But there's a healing of this defensiveness. That the energy we are, especially in America, we're a young nation. We're developing. We've had a lot of success. I'm going to try and leave things. I don't want to go too deep into anything right now. Should I be covering that up? Anyway. All right. So the energy of the other, their perspective is they're not ready for change. They're not ready to heal. They want to live in the success that they know, which is in the mundane realm. And they're fighting off this greater awakening, this greater spiritual awakening that can heal what they've experienced thus far. Man, I take forever. It's like, where are you guys? Wow. Time is relative. Hierophant at the bottom of the deck. Number 5 and number 5, 5 of Wands at the top. Yeah, okay. Man, I want to pause. This stuff wears me out. Bear with me because I'm really still learning I'm learning to trust myself. So. Current perspective for the collective regarding the situation. Current perspective for the collective. It's too many. Let's just run through them real fast. is the world. Ten of Cups, Emperor in reverse, Four of Cups, and Hierophant. Real quick rundown of this is that a definite boundary, right? A deal breaker, something just too illegit not to quit, and thus perceiving an offer as a no good offer. Followed by the Emperor in reverse because it's insincere. Power plays and patriarchy. There's stuff going on that's not fully enlightened yet. That makes sense. Emperor in reverse can mean abuse of power. An abuse of power, but it might be reflected by a temptation of emotional fulfillment because maybe there's some old programming that hasn't been let go of yet, where it makes the Emperor in reverse something kind of familiar, maybe, and it hasn't been fully healed. And then here we have the world, but that's the end of that. We're ascended. We can see it for what it is, and as difficult as it may be, we can find this within us. We can find this more truthfully, and we're recognizing that it is divine law. Okay, so this may not always be divine law. So this is legality. It can also represent sort of like a gatekeeper. The priests that the age of Pisces, where religion was designed, and for good reason at the time. I mean, not without reason. It allowed us to get to where we are, which is we have everything available to us. Always have. So many thoughts. So saying what I've been taught and how I've been programmed, I'm not down with it anymore. I see that the abuse of power is going on. I understand what emotional fulfillment is. And I am going to change my world to reflect myself, or something better for myself than that which I inherited. I'm not talking about divine inheritance. I'm talking about programming. This is going to be like a 10-hour video, like, I'm probably going to have to learn how to edit this stuff, I guess. I'm just going to pause and I'll do this